We're here with our cropping system specialist, Josh Lofton. We're standing in a wheat field, but Josh, there's actually another crop that's planted in here.
Yeah. So what we're looking at here is kind of a very unique system, kind of a very niche system right now that we're having an evaluation of, and it's this intercrop soybean to where we actually have a wheat crop growing and a soybean crop growing at the same time. We're just testing the waters with this system right now. You know, a lot of folks really like that wheat soybean system. That's a very good thing, especially when we get into that double crop acres. But there are some folks that feel like that delayed planting on soybean, we just lose too much yield. And so we wanted to start looking at a system and one to where we still have full season soybean and a wheat crop here. So this is a system that is run in other parts of the United States, oftentimes where there's, you know, ample moisture throughout the season, to where there's never a competition for moisture. We wanted to see if in a system that, you know, here in Oklahoma, particularly where we are here in Stillwater, where moisture can be an issue, is can the system work, and then start working our way back to our typical soybean production region to see, when we get a little bit more moisture, does this system continue to be beneficial as we go? Because if we can get a full season soybean crop and just lose a little bit of wheat yield where we have the soybeans planted, we potentially could have a very nice system here.
So, you know, with that, does the price of the crops factor in with a decision of using the system actually?
Yeah, so the intent here is soybean prices are so nice right now, and wheat prices are okay, but soybean prices are really nice. And so we want to try to get as much out of the soybean as we possibly can, while still having a good wheat crop out as well.
When harvesting for wheat, is there potential to damage to the crop when you have combines out in the field?
Yeah, so that's one of the things we're looking at here is one, when we're planting the soybean, how much damage do we do to the wheat? When we're doing all our late season wheat management, so think about fungicides, insecticides, maybe even a late season herbicide application, what are we doing to the soybean? And then on the flip side, when we're going in and harvesting the wheat, how much damage do we do to the soybean? And so we don't typically have a large enough bean to get into the way of the combine as it's going through. You just have to work on logistics, on like tire marks, you know, where you can drive, where you can't drive, et cetera, et cetera. And that's kind of the crux of the system, is you have to have things set to where you're not driving on the crop that's just now getting going, and in this case it's the soybean.
Yeah, that's like fascinating research. But before we let you go, you know, the topic on Sunup the past couple weeks has been rain and weather and how that's affected the wheat crop. So how's that affecting summer crops?
We're slow. Overall, that's just the general consensus. I think one of two things are either happening. Either one, we're not planted yet. You know, the ground's just been too wet, or haven't gotten everything ready, whether that be tillage or spraying or various other things. The big thing that we're gonna have to start looking at is, with all this rain, a lot of our herbicides are starting to break, and we got a lot of weeds in the field. And so, especially where we have limitations on growth stage to get herbicide out, make sure we're being very proactive on that. I think enriched strips this year are going to be a very critical thing in our corn and our milo, maybe even our cotton crop. So go get that enriched strip out if you haven't. And then if you have beans, they don't look very good right now, but they will. We got good moisture under them. They're gonna start growing. Everything's gonna start growing. We just have to make sure that those other aspects, like our weed control, are really well managed, because this year is gonna be a big issue.
All right, thanks, Josh. Josh Lofton, cropping systems specialist here at Oklahoma State University.